Yep. Alright, so um we gotta know the importance of the Roman Empire, right? You know, if it wasn't for the Roman Empire, the modern day, you know, Sapien ruled society would not exist, right? The Roman Empire was the prototype of the modern day, current, you know, Sapien, sovereign society that we have today, in this century. Um, yeah, so um, the Romans were one of the last to take over, quote unquote, Egypt, um, dominated. Then a portion of the Romans would turn into the Byzantine Empire. Right. Before that, though, they would, turn to Christians. Um, then the Byzantine Empire would be taken over by the Ottoman Turks. Right. Um, it's important to know how Christianity and Catholicism was born. Right. Right. Romans became big Christians later down their timeline. The Byzantine Empire would, you know, they would further continue the Christian faith. And then, the Catholic faith would branch off the Christian faith. Um, then that's where the Roman Catholic Church comes from. Right. Um, Later down the line, you're gonna get the Pope Alexander the Fourth or Fifth. He will create the Papal Bull, right, which was the authorization of subjugation, pillaging, Christian conversion of any parts of the land within the New World, right? The Papal Bull will be in 18. My fault. The Papal Bull will be in 1493, a year after Columbus' discovery, quote unquote, which was in 1492. All right. Columbus was also a Catholic. Right? The Papal Bull will give, authorization and permission to, enslave and convert anyone who was not Christian, right? Especially within the New World, the Spanish and the Portuguese would, go and conquer everything within the Western world. The Europeans will come later and gain some of the rights of the land within the New World, quote unquote. The New World, quote unquote. The New World is just a very a very cynical form of saying the human world, right? These Sapien nations, they would see the quote unquote New World and they would transform it until their desire. A lot of the current Sapien nations today, like the United Nations, Spain, France, Portugal, etc., Greece, whatever, they all were a part of the Roman Empire, right? They were all part of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was the Sapien Um, that was the original kingdom, right, of the Sapiens. They honor that era, because that was right after the collapse of the Egyptians. Right? Now, Sapiens control everything from you know a regional standpoint, like a spider web. They all have their own sections. And the Roman Empire was a structure of might. It was it was a conglomerate. It was one giant force. Now, the modern day sapient nations, they control everything as a you know as a intersection, spider web. You know, all these symbols, very disgusting symbols, right? Um, Christians, the Christian symbols are just symbols of enslavement and genocide and human worship. Right? Same thing with the Catholics. Even when you look at the back of the dollar bill, you're gonna see, the Roman symbolic references like the leaves and the balance beam and the eagle and etc. Even Roman numerals, you'll see that in the back of the dollar bill as well. The pillars, another symbol. The leaf crown, the leaf headpiece. The cross symbol with the circle around it. Romans were birthed the Christian faith and the Catholic faith, right? Giving birth to the KKK, the Crusaders, the Mormons, etc. We could argue the religious faith, like all religious faith, like at least 80 to 90% of religious faith were born after the Romans took over everything. Racism would not exist if it wasn't for the religion. That's the godfather of racism. Even the holidays we celebrate, the calendar, right? The streets, Saint Clark, Saint Lawrence, Bishop this, Saint Nick, Santa Claus, Christmas, right? Which is a Roman influenced holiday, come from Saturnalia, right? The same birthday of the KKK, December 24th. All right. You gotta understand that, right? Christianity was the backbone of enslavement, right, across the Western world. Enforced by the Spanish, the Portuguese, and the Europeans. The Europeans will take it to the next level, by burying our history, changing our names, changing our customs, and our dietary plan. To this day, most of us have Latin last names. Latin is a Roman language. Right? The pillars, right? These pillars you see in courthouses and government official buildings, the White House, etc. Areas of legislation, you're gonna see these, Roman infrastructures all over the place, because they dictate. All right, they dictate, they conquer. The Greco-Roman Empire were major thieves of Chemites and Gnostics. Right? Very power hungry, very greedy, selfish, insatiable. Today we have the Vatican, right? United Nations, the Trilateral Commission, Bilderbergs, these other, Israel, these Sapien families, these bloodlines, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, etc., Murdochs, etc. The Redstones, they control everything within this artificial world. The Sapien world is it's embedded in Greco-Roman culture and European culture. Right. Yeah. So this all links to America, Vespucci, stupid ass, Columbus, dumbass, and then you got the niggas who made it worse, like Da Vinci with the Christ imagery of the Caucasian, and things got even worse after that. The birth of capitalism, and whew, it got ugly. Yeah. The missionaries too. Don't forget those fucking missionaries. Colonizing everything. Then you got the Berlin Conference. 1884, around there. And these fucking white nations taking over everything. The motherland.